Smoking isn't good for you. That's hardly any news. But recently, a new trend started that many young people are fans of. If you walk around most college campuses, you'll probably see a few people who look like they're smoking what looks like a pen or a pencil. No, they aren't actually lighting their pencil on fire. They're vaping. But how do people who vape actually feel about it? A nationwide poll was done in America in July of 2019, and they found that more than 20% of people between the ages of 18 and 35 said that vaping was harmless and not addictive. But are these people right? Well, it probably isn't harmless, as over 2,000 people have had to be hospitalized from injuries to their lungs because of vaping. But how does vaping compare to smoking in general? According to the World Health Organization, tobacco kills up to half its users, killing over 8 million people every year. That's about 22,000 people every single day. The history of smoking dates all the way back to 5000 BC, but it's more commonly known for its popularity after World War I in 1919. Initially, only men smoked, but it didn't take long for women to follow suit in 1920. This new trend went on for a while, and it got another boost after World War II. It wasn't until the 1950s when we first started hearing about the dangers of smoking. Naturally, many of these reports were ignored and they were met with a lot of hostility. Imagine telling someone they can't go to their favorite restaurant anymore because there's a pandemic going on. They're probably not going to take it so well. The only difference with smoking was that these people weren't doing it as a hobby. It was such a big part of their lifestyle that they were addicted. It took all the way until 1962 for the government to realize that they might be onto something. Fast forward to now, and smoking is still a major problem. The World Health Organization even calls it one of the biggest public health threats the world has ever faced. But most people know smoking is bad, and 7 out of 10 smokers say they want to quit. The problem is, quitting is pretty hard for smokers, and for a lot of them, it's a long, gradual process. With smoking being around for over 100 years, it's natural for people to look to an alternative. This led to vaping being invented in 2003 by a Chinese inventor. But what exactly is vaping, and how is it different from regular smoking? Well, when you smoke a regular cigarette, the fire causes the particles in the cigarette to turn into a smoke, which delivers nicotine into your lungs as you inhale. This gets absorbed into your bloodstream and quickly makes its way to your brain. This causes a release of dopamine and a feeling of alertness. But once the nicotine leaves your body, you crash and you crave more, which eventually leads to an addiction. Smoking affects your brain very quickly, but as the name implies, you have to inhale smoke in the process. This smoke can hurt your vision, it can cause brown stains to form on your teeth, it can diminish your sense of taste, and it can even make you infertile. Not only can it directly kill you, smoking is also linked with cancer, cardiovascular disease, and respiratory disease. The good news is smoking is on the decline, but what about vaping? Vaping is different from smoking in that it doesn't actually burn anything. Instead, the liquid mixture is vaporized, allowing the aerosols to deliver fast effects without the damaging effects of inhaling smoke. In theory, this should be safer than traditional smoking, which is why it's grown in popularity among marijuana and nicotine users. But just because it's safer doesn't actually mean it's safe. Smoking has been around for a while, so we've been able to get long-term studies that really show how dangerous it is. Vaping hasn't been around that long, so these studies can't exist. And unlike what some people think, the aerosols in vape pens and e-cigarettes are not harmless and include many harmful substances. A study found that 99% of e-cigarettes contain nicotine, which is the same drug that makes cigarettes so addicting. What's worse, even some of the e-cigarettes marketed as having no nicotine still have nicotine in them. On top of nicotine, flavorings and other chemicals found in these aerosols have been linked with serious lung disease and even cancer. Although the use of traditional cigarettes has gone down, vaping is still on the rise, especially in the younger generation. A word of advice: if you're ever given the option between smoking or vaping, a good answer would always be no. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our new tips every week.